kiddos. Hope you all are having a great day and you're staying motivated as we get one step closer to winter break. So today we are going to finish up our last learning target of this unit, and our learning target is that we will learn how to find sums of geometric series. So this is just a continuation of what we started with the arithmetic series. So for geometric series, so we're going to be given a sequence, sorry. We're going to be given a sequence, and we're going to be asked to find the sum of the first 8 terms. So the first thing we're going to have to do is find our common ratio. So 8 times what gives me 24, and 24 times what gives me 72. So, sorry, this is kind of blurry. I don't know why. There we go. That's a little bit better. So 8 times 3 is going to give me 24, and 24 times 72 is also going to give me 3. So my common ratio is 3. Once I know that, I'm pretty much ready to go ahead and use my formula for geometric sums. So the formula for that is S sub n is equal to a sub 1 minus a sub 1 times r to the n over 1 minus r. So please make sure you are writing down these formulas and keeping them organized. Make sure you know which formula to use when, because I'm making this Friday after school, and so far looking at the quizzes that have been turned in so far, you either did really, really good or you didn't do too hot because you were using the wrong formulas at the wrong time. So make sure you're paying attention. I shouldn't have to tell you. You should be able to know when to use a geometric formula and when to use an arithmetic formula based on your difference or your ratio. So make sure this is in your notes under geometric series, so how you find sums. So if you notice for this one, all I need is my n, my r, and my a1. So we can go ahead and we want to find the first 8 terms. So s sub 8 is equal to a sub 1, so 8, minus a sub 1 again, 8 times my common ratio of 3 to the nth term, all over 1 minus r, which is 3. So the thing to keep in mind here is this is not 8 minus 8. This is 8 minus 8 times 3 to the 8th power. So we're going to type that in, and we're going to get 2 on the bottom. Then we're going to get 8 minus, type in 8 times 3 to the 8th, make sure your 3 is in parentheses, and that's going to give you negative 52,480. Divide that by 2, and that's going to give you the sum of the first 8 terms is 26,240. Alrighty, another example for that one where it can look a little bit different is going to be 200, negative 160, and 128. So this one off the top, and we want to find the sum of first 10. So this one, off the top of my head, 200 times what equals negative 160? I don't really know anything besides the fact that it's going to be negative. So I'm going to have to do negative 160 over 200, and I'm going to simplify that. And I'm going to get, let's see what my notes say, I'm going to get negative 4/5. You can check that again with 128 over negative 160, and you're going to get the same thing. So my r is negative 4 over 5. And now I'm ready to use my formula. So S sub 10 is going to equal my first term, 200, minus my first term, times negative 4/5 to the 10th power, all over 1 minus negative 4/5. So the thing to keep in mind with the geometric series is in Delta Math, each of your problems will tell you what you need to round to. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Some of them you'll have to round to the nearest whole number, sometimes to the nearest hundredth, sometimes to the nearest tenth. You're going to have to read carefully when you're doing these, because even though we start with whole numbers, eventually when you get fractions involved, you're going to get numbers that aren't evenly divisible, essentially. So that's when you're going to end up with some decimals. So once you do all this, you're going to end up with 178.5251635 over 1.8. And that's going to give you roughly, this one wanted us to round to the nearest hundredth. It's going to give us 99.198. So this is what you would type in Delta Math. Just because you're getting these numbers does not mean you did it incorrectly at all. Just make sure you are reading what the problem says in terms of where you should round. So this right here is your biggest takeaway from today's lecture. Today's lecture is this formula and how to use it. So in the same way that we have summation notation for arithmetic, you can use that paper. Arithmetic, we're also going to have the same for geometric. So for geometric, we're going to have the same starting, ending, and your explicit formula here. So we're going to have 51 up top, n equals 1. 50 times 0.94 to the n plus 1 power. We want to find the sum of this one. So the first thing we're going to have to find is our a sub 1. My a sub 1 for this one is actually going to be 1. So it's going to be 50 times 0.94 to the 1 plus 1 power. You type that into your calculator and you're going to get 44.18. Now that I have this, I have to calculate my n. So my n is going to be my ending minus my starting plus 1. So that's going to give me right back up at 51. Now I'm ready to use my formula. So it's going to be s sub 51 equals 44.18 minus 44.18 times 0.94 to the 51st, all over 1 minus 0.94. You're going to put all that in your calculator and you're going to get roughly 705. Oops, sorry. So for these, you're going to have to pay attention to rounding and what the problem is telling you to do. For our second example, let's say we're going to have 25, n equals 2, and our explicit formula is 700, 1.03 to the n power. All right, so we're going to have to find our a sub 1. So let's see. A sub 1 is going to be 700, 1.03 to the second. I'm going to type all that into my calculator and it's going to give me 742.63. Oop, you all can't see that. Sorry. Once I have this, I need to calculate my n. So n is going to equal 25 minus 2 plus 1, which is going to give me 24. Now I'm ready. So s sub 24 is going to be equal to 742.63 minus 742.63 times 1.03 to the 24th power, all over 1 minus 1.03. You type all that in your calculator, make sure you're being very, very careful, and you're going to get roughly that the sum of those first 24 terms is 25,566. So the main thing to keep in mind when you're doing these is making sure that you are typing stuff into your calculator correctly and you're going piece by piece. Don't try and type all of this into your calculator. Do this section, then do this minus this, and then do your bottom. And also try not to round until you get to the very end, because if you round too early, that's going to mess up your answers. So you have a few practice problems for this, both over the list of sequences and tells you to find the sum, and over summation notation. So make sure you are staying on top of your assignments, and please, 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 please make sure you're taking notes and you're asking questions if you have them. We just got to finish out these next couple of days, these next couple of assignments, and then we get 2 weeks off. So please, if you need anything, let me know. Be sure to get your retakes in, missing assignments in, all that jazz. I'm in the Google Meet if you need me. Hope to see you all later. Bye.